Hey, it's Jabbo. Welcome to BrickTsar, your home for vintage Lego. And I have finished one of my projects that I started back in May. And I wanted to show you this today and kind of give you an update because I've been working on piecing together two sets pretty much since May. It's this one. Actually, no, it's this one. The Cafe Corner set, was it 10182? And also Ninjago City Docks, which is 70657. I haven't built it yet, but I do have all the pieces, unless I messed up on the inventory, which I did on this one. But I still found all the pieces. But anyway, I have built another copy of Cafe Corner, one of the most sought after Lego modulars, the very first Lego modular. And so I've already done a video on the original. But the one I've just built, this one over here, besides not being so dusty as this one, it's also more complete. Because when I rebuilt this one a while back, I couldn't find two of the minifigures, the red bicycle, and a few other small parts for decoration. I have them. They're somewhere down here in the basement, and I made a list of some of the sets that I have missing pieces to, so I will find them eventually. But what I did, I was like, you know what? I had a lot of the elements in my collection already. Not as many as I thought, but I had a lot. And I said, I'm going to try to piece this together versus buying another one. And I did the same thing with Ninjago City Docks because I did not want to pay the hundreds and hundreds of dollars it is to get Ninjago City Docks, which is about $400 to $500, probably about $550 to get one. And then the Cafe Corner goes used anywhere from $800 to and up. A new one, it's probably you're probably looking at $1,200–1,500 for a new one in the box. So how did I do? I know a lot of people have probably been wondering, how did BrickTsar do in this crazy idea he had of piecing together sets, buying other sets to part out to get a few of the elements? Well, it may seem really bad on paper, and it may be really bad in real life. I did acquire all the pieces. It did take a lot of BrickLink orders, a lot of sets that I bought. For instance, the recent haul, the 8863 set, just to give you an example, I bought 5 copies of that set to get 4 pieces. So I included in the cost of piecing this together everything that I bought, including things that I didn't need. Like I bought 5 copies when I only needed 4 to get 1 piece because I'm going to part out all those sets. So that's to recoup the cost. Like I bought, so the 4 turntable elements that were in those sets, those go anywhere from like $25 to $35 on BrickLink for just the 1 piece. So let's say it's $25. It would have cost like $100 to get the 4. I spent, I didn't do the total, but it was about $60 a set, so it was about $300. So I spent $300 to get $100 worth of parts, but I got about $550 in value added to my BrickLink store. So that strategy, if you want to call it that, a strategy, is what I did. So for instance, in Ninjago City Docks, I bought the base plates. I needed one of the 16 by 32, I think. I bought 20 at a very cheap price, and then I can resell some of the others. I'm not going to sell all of them, but I can resell some of the others for much more than what I paid for. Same thing with the instructions and the stickers from Ninjago City Docks. The only thing I didn't get with Cafe Corner, I did not get another copy of the original instructions. That may be a problem, I don't know, but you don't really need the instructions, and I already have my original instructions for this. I don't know if I'm that type of a collector where if I got 2 copies of the same set, do I need 2 copies of the same instructions? Just depends on how you collect, I guess. But this is the Cafe Corner. It's complete. There are some slight modifications, but they're the same element. It's just not the one that would have come with the Cafe Corner. And the biggest change would be Let's see if I can find it on here. Oh yeah, down here there's white panels. They're exactly the same except for they have hollow studs instead of solid studs like my original copy does. And so there were some minor things like that. I think the same thing with the red slopes. The studs might have been different, but other than that, they're exactly the same. And everything else should be acceptable. Nobody would really notice. There's no major changes, I should say. It's the same part. This just might be a slightly different mold of the same part. And so, yeah, the turntables I think was the most surprising expensive piece. But I did other things like the dark blue elements. There's an arch, and then some of these poles. I actually bought. That's what I bought the Bionicle sets for. So I bought like 4 or 5 Bionicle sets, and I did part some of those out. I haven't finished parting them out. So I spent like $200 to get $6 worth of parts, but I'm gonna keep some of the Bionicle sets, and I'm gonna part out. In fact, somebody just recently bought some of those parts from the new set that I parted out into my collection, into my store. But anyway, and there were some used parts also. I think I added. So I stalled enough, so I don't need to do another video on the cafe corner. I just will say that this one is more complete than my original until I find those minifigures for this one. And it was fun. I think the best thing was it was fun doing this, but probably not the strategy that the average person will use, because I have a BrickLink store. And I'm able to add things to my store and not worry about that they sell right away. So this strategy would not work, and I'll tell you why. Because it cost over $3,100 to do this. And I could have bought the sets for like $1,500, maybe even as little as maybe $1,200, $1,100 or $1,200, maybe even $1,100, yeah, to buy 2. But buying used, you risk buying and they're still missing parts. In fact, that's one way I've been collecting, is buying used lots that are cheaper, that are missing pieces, and then I just go and get the pieces. But this is one that somebody would substitute some of the valuable parts for more inexpensive parts, like the turntables. Like, you could have substituted a black turntable, and I don't think anybody would have noticed or cared. I don't know how visible are these turntables. They are visible, but they would have been black because instead of light bluish gray. I think it does make a difference where they show up over here. So I think it is important that they be light bluish gray instead of black or some other color. There's not very many colors of the turntable. And they could re-release that turntable in another set one day. Why are some of these parts, some of my grays almost look like dark gray. Problem with used parts. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, I spent that much, but that is not including all of the parts, again, that go into the cafe corner and Ninjago City Docks. That includes also sets that I parted out. Like, there was like some, I bought some of I think one of them was the Iron Man head bust. I got some of the dark red elements out of that, and I parted out the rest. There were some other sets. I can't remember. The ones that stand out to me are the World Racer set, the Bionicle sets, and I'm trying to think of what some of the other sets I bought. But I did part out a lot of things to add to my inventory. So over $3,100 to buy 2 sets that I could have got for less than half of that if I just bought the sets outright. But to kind of give you an idea of my thinking is, I keep a certain value in my store. A lot of people might focus on their lots or adding pieces. I want to keep a certain value in my store. So if I sell 2,000 parts, I need to add $2,000 worth of parts back to the store, which may cost, $500 to $1,000 to add $2,000 worth of parts. So as long as I keep that value up there. So I think I've added more than the $3,000 worth of parts to my inventory from things that I bought along with this. In fact, I guess another thing, this number is inaccurate, because if I went to a store, a BrickLink store, for instance, to add parts, I would also buy other things, and I included that in the price. So if I bought a Jack Stone set, that was included. I didn't separate it into only Cafe Corner parts and Ninjago City parts. So, I mean, everything that I bought. So the order I got from Magic Magnus, and the one I got from DD Bricks, there was one order from DD Bricks that had a lot of Ninjago City parts, a lot of Cafe Corner parts, but also had a lot of other parts, tipper truck parts. I included all that in this price because I didn't want to. It was just going to take too much time to go through and go line by line and add them up. So you can see where it sounds really bad, but it's not as bad when you break it down to what the money actually went to and how much value I added to my store. So I'm pretty sure I added well over the $3,000 value into my store. Like I said, the World Racer stuff alone was like $550 worth of stuff. And so with the other things, even, yeah, there's a lot of things. Oh, and I also had bricks and pieces orders in here where it wasn't just parts for Cafe Corner and Ninjago City. But so did I say what I sold? Okay, I got it written down here. So in the same time period that I've been buying this stuff, I have also sold $5,345. So I'm like $2,200. I've sold $2,200 more than what I've paid. So that's my thinking. Am I stupid? Maybe. But I think in the long term, I will come out better. I will have not spent as much money in the long term. In the short term, yes, I spent way more than what I should for this set and for Ninjago City. But like I said, I've already sold some of the, this $5,345, that's not parts I've added recently. That's anything from the store. But there have been some parts that have sold, and I still got a lot that I still need to add. I just hadn't added them yet. But I feel pretty good doing it this way. It's not a business strategy, though. This is not how you would run a business, because it's for the amount of time you spend doing it, it wouldn't be worth it. But this is my hobby. There's a lot of you that do stuff like this that aren't even selling stuff. You're just buying bulk lots and trying to complete sets and going to BrickLink and buying stuff. And that's who I was for years. From the 90s into the early 2000s, I was like, try to complete sets. Oh, here's some of my old sets from my childhood. I don't have all the pieces anymore. Where do I get the sets? I wish somebody would invent a website where I could go buy the parts. Oh, here's eBay. Oh, I wish somebody had a website that had Lego parts. Oh, here's rec.toys.lego. I bet you thought I was going to say BrickLink. So it was very hard to complete sets in the 90s. Okay? But now it's very easy with resources like BrickLink and eBay, especially BrickLink, and Bricks and Pieces. So it's fun to do it. So I had fun doing it. And I thoroughly enjoyed building my second copy of the Cafe Corner. So again, do I recommend that you do this? No. Did I have fun doing it? Yes. Will I be upside down on this with my mortgage forever? No, I won't be. I won't be. And I got another Cafe Corner. It's one of the most wanted sets, and I got 2 of them. Yes, I did it the hard way, but I do a lot of things the hard way, like making videos here on this channel when I should be over there at my train table, spending 3 minutes to make 3 minutes to make a video that get 10 times the views, but I come over here and do this because I like you guys, and I like Lego, and I'm crazy. And I'm wearing an IOU shirt. This is one my grandmother bought me. My wife told me not to wear it, but I wore it anyway, because I'll probably never have to wear it again. I think I've painted in this shirt. It's a long sleeve shirt. It's fall. Anyway, that's all this video is going to be about. Me piecing together the Cafe Corner. Tell me how stupid I am in the comments. No, don't really do that. But yeah, this, again, a lot of people have been asking. I just wanted to do an update and just put the numbers out there for you. And yeah, I'm going to go and I'm going to go put these in the city. Look, you can put them together now. It's like one Cafe Corner hotel. Uh-oh. There was the bench. I broke the bench. If you want to see a more detailed review, I'm sure somebody's posted one on YouTube. I mean, I got a video of this one back in the day. I've built this one 3 times. I built this one once. Will I take them apart again? Probably. I don't know. Anyway, that's the cafe corners. See you guys in the next video. Don't you say anything.